Welcome to the Real Estate and Chills podcast, newest series.
Chill, bro.
Where we discuss sports,
NFTs.
COVID vaccines,
Chill, bro.
TV shows,
Crypto.
politics,
Chill, bro.
life mistakes,
Random.
realtors we hate.
Yo, chill, bro.
Hit the subscribe button.
Notification bell.
Wait, who'd you vote for?
Bro, chill, bro.
Perfect. All right. More importantly, what are we talking about today?
Man, we have so many things. So, like, here's what you people don't understand. Behind the scenes, we're texting each other all week long, talking about what we're going to talk about when we get together, right? Mm-hmm. So, we had a couple of interesting topics. I mean, we were talking about social media and which would you prefer, like 1 million followers or $1 million.
Let's dive into that.
1
million followers over $1 million.
Yeah, let's start there. We'll start with that one.
Oh man, y'all put me on the spot.
Yeah, man. Come on, bro. I was in the hot seat. That's the hot seat. I was in the hot seat last week.
I'll take the $1 million. I'll always take $1 million over the 1 million followers.
Okay.
Because the followers could always be. Are they
100%
Genuine, authentic, genuine followers.
Oh, we got to talk about the difference.
Because look
Yeah,
at here,
we do.
you can sell a product for $2 to those
Yeah.
million followers and make that million to 2 million.
But counter argument, what if you only have like a certain percentage of them that would actually buy something?
To
for you?
actually engage into
Yeah.
the content. Yeah.
But why would they be following you if they're not engaged
Streets
with
is
you?
watching, bro. People are always
That's true.
creeping. They always
But
creeping.
also, if you like, I think that I personally, even though I would want $1 million, if there are 1 million genuine followers, if I get like whatever, like we're in the real estate game, right? So it's like if I get like 0.5% to use me to do the residential financing, if I can get all those people to contact me, I refer 5,000. Let's just say it's 5,000 people, right? I refer 5,000 people out to the realtors I work with, make more connections,
Right.
Stuff like that. I feel like for us in our industry, I think it might make more sense to go with the 1 million followers, but also $1 million is nice too. I don't know, but I think I would go with 1 million followers.
1 million followers, what about you?
Man, that's a tough one. I'm old school. I'm
Is
a
the
little
million
bit in the
tax
camp.
free?
Yeah, I'm with Sean.
Million tax free. Let's do that. Let's do
Yeah.
tax free.
Let's
That's a
assume
good one,
it's
that's
$1
a
million
good one.
tax free because that's a game changer too, right? I think I take the million bounce because social media and selling, like we're not in that. If I'm selling products, like whatever it is, yeah, I think I take the 1 million followers. But in the business I'm in, and most of us are in a service industry, we're not selling a product so much. Yeah, I think I take the 1 million and call it a day.
So million, you'll take the followers, million,
I think I take the million. Tax-free mil.
tax-free mil. That's
To
the
be
game
clear.
changer.
This game changer. Would you take? You never
Yeah.
said.
So personally, me, I would take the million too. I would cash out.
Cash
Right?
out?
Just because.
Y'all are all lame. Nobody has my
he's a
back
younger
on this.
generation.
No, it's
young, bro.
I'm not. Listen,
Where I come from, bro,
It's-
$1 million, I'm taking
Yeah.
that.
Tax-free?
Tax-free.
and it's
I'm out.
tax-free.
I mean, also, you guys know how to take that $1 million and flip that quicker than.
But you know what's crazy is that attention is currency in
Yes,
this new
that's true.
world that we're living in now. But all right, me personally, I'll take the million. If it was like the podcast though, like podcast Instagram, I think we'd go
That's
with
a game
the 1 million
changer.
followers.
Right.
Because then we could
Monetize.
sell merch and sell other things that
yeah,
could.
ads on YouTube, things like
100%.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me bring something to your attention then. So we're all in the, we're all in similar spaces. So what if we just use those 1 million followers to go into not another like whatever industry or whatever, but like what if we created like an NFT and then we had 1 million followers who wanted, and like some of them wanted to buy the NFT, and I created like I networked with like some of the best makers of NFTs and whatever. And then, like, we just dropped an NFT.
But
I'm
there's-
sure that those 1 million followers, if they bought it, it would turn into a lot more.
But
than
there's so many
I think.
risks with NFTs right now
Yeah.
still.
And do you think
there's
a
too much
million
risk?
followers will buy
I don't
I don't think
Yeah,
a million.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would say like I would.
What's
I
the
think
percentage
like
that you think
Yeah,
you'll
nah.
get?
1%, maybe. I think that's a fair number. 1%.
Man.
Nah, I take the million.
What's
Yeah,
what's
I
the
think
number
you-
of followers you need for the swipe up feature, like on Instagram?
I think that's
I think it's like
10,000.
10,000?
Things like 10,000.
All right, let's
So-
talk about fake followers though, because a lot of people have a lot of fake.
That's why I
followers.
asked if it's real. I mean, Sean asked that
Yeah.
first. If it's
Yeah.
real followers, because I could buy 1 million fake followers like tomorrow for like I don't even know like a few.
You'll see a lot of pages that have
$1,000
like
maybe?
50, 60, 70,000 followers, and then like 100 likes,
if that. Sometimes you see
or like
So-
30.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is going
Yo,
on?
we are
man.
not calling anybody out. This is general speaking.
No,
Just-
absolutely.
Yeah.
And listen, it does pay for followers, in my opinion, if you are selling a product and you want like the swipe up feature, for example, because then every
But do you
follower
think people are doing it
thereafter-
for that though?
Nah.
They're not doing it.
Nah.
Well, no. Well, we were talking last week about flex, right?
Yeah.
And Yeah, so people want to do it for that reason. I get it.
But what's the point if it's not real though? It's like it's a fake.
No, but
I
agree.
But I think what Lou is getting at is just like that swipe up feature is important. Like it's important.
It is important, but do you get that feature with fake followers?
I guess so, right?
I think so.
I think it's just a number.
So can you get a blue check with fake followers?
No,
That's a good
I don't know
question.
about that, but
There's two different types of blue checks now, though. That I saw a clip. I saw somebody post this a few days ago. You can have a blue check, but once you go, you know those three little dots at the top of the profile.
Yeah.
If you go to those three little dots and it doesn't say like about, if you look on your phone now, it's just say like about this.
Look that up.
Profile. If
Okay.
it doesn't say that about this profile, that's how you know to check the blue
They
mark
pay
is
for
fake.
it. You know how many messages I get in my DMs like, oh, you want to get
I get
verified
those
blue check?
too.
$1,000 or $2,000. I get Forex like turn this $500 into $5,000.
Yeah,
wait, if it says what?
DMs.
Like if you go to this right here, right, the three dots,
Yeah.
you see about this account.
Oh, if you don't see
If you
about
don't
this
see this
account,
about this account, they paid for the check.
all right, I'm gonna check one person right now.
So that's a blue check, like CHEX. We'll call it fake check.
Yeah, I started going. I'm like, oh, this is official.
That's a
It's
fake
crazy.
check.
All right, well, I need wait. So who do I reach out to get a fake one?
No, you don't want no fake check. You don't want no fake check. I'm not gonna let you do that to yourself.
No, I wouldn't do it.
We're
You
not
gotta do
doing
It
it.
wouldn't even make sense for me to do.
No, it doesn't matter.
Build it up, man. The audience is coming.
Yeah.
Just keep grinding. That's all.
Natural. I mean, but the thing is, like,
Organic.
Everything
It's-
has to be. I believe it.
I agree with what you were saying before. It's just like authentic, like or fake. Like, what is that? Well, I'm sorry. I think you said that. Like, if it's fake followers, like, what does it do for you? Like, you have 1 million followers. They don't do anything. You drop a few grand on it. Maybe somebody will think like, oh, this guy's like whatever. But like, I feel like a general public, like, if you put that in front of the four of us, like, we would be able to see through that like right
Of course.
away. You know what I mean?
Think
So it's
about it like this. Let's say you got 100 followers, and the next day you're like, you know what? I want 10,000 followers. You buy 10,000 followers. Whatever you post, you're still talking to those 100 people.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
doesn't make any sense.
And it's the engagement that matters more than anything. Listen, we all want to have, and I almost hate the word followers to some extent too, because
I like supporters.
there you go. I was just going to say that. I wish they used a different term, but anyway, followers. That's what they go with. Listen, I don't know. I just feel funny about the word followers.
Yeah, I think it's funny too.
But more to the point is, does it matter how many followers you have or how many people engage with you?
I
It's
think
about the
engagement.
Because I don't have a lot of followers. I have like whatever it is,
You have
1,500.
a lot of engagement.
But I
Yeah,
have
you
a
got
lot.
a lot of
That's what I mean.
engagement.
Like I could actually say that people who again follow me, I follow back, and like I engage with them, they engage with me. So it doesn't matter if I had 10,000. I don't think my engagement would be any different, or my
It'd probably be the same
business
the same
interaction.
engagement.
But
with
your
people.
profile gets recommended more now because of your engagement. That's
Yes.
how Instagram looks at it.
So how does
Yes.
it work? It usually works off of the shares and the saves, right?
Shares, saves, and engagement.
And that's how you start to hit the
Yeah.
popular page and everything?
Yeah, I never hit no
Interesting.
popular page.
Yo, I follow a lot of
You're
people.
pretty popular.
Nah,
You
Yeah,
guys.
these dudes are popular.
nah.
You guys
Yo,
are
what kind of
pop
saying,
in.
bro?
Still brand new.
Especially when you drop
like
that
his-
dancing video.
I like
You
his
gotta
comment.
drop the dancing video.
Bro, right after that episode, so basically we went on to Sean's podcast last
Strictly
week.
Free Game
to that.
Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to that podcast.
Subscribe. So at the end of the video, I was talking about this TikTok I made. Right after they clowned me for it, I hid the video right away so they could never see it. You guys are never
He
seeing
made a
that video.
dancing TikTok video.
We were talking
Somebody
about
has it. If somebody has that,
Nobody's
has
getting
one.
that.
email us here at the Real Estate and Chill Podcast
At gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
It's never, nobody's ever seen it.
There's some money in it for you if you have this footage. You
All right,
definitely
so
got to put that up.
majority vote, they'll take the $1 million.
All right, million.
You take the followers.
Yeah.
And we
Also
want to
take
know what you
followers.
guys would do.
Yeah, let us know in the
Comments
comments
below.
Yeah, let us
I'm
know.
interested. I think it's a lot of perspective. I mean, everything's perspective. It's like I feel like a lot of people like it depends on who you ask. I think you hit that like right on the head, and like it depends on what service they're going for and stuff.
But you're saying you want to monetize it. That's what
Yeah,
you're
of course,
saying. You say
yeah.
I want the million followers.
Sponsorships, like all these different things. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, personally, I said $1 million. Podcast wise, yeah, of course. Took the $1 million.
think about 1 million people wanting to sell their house.
He
Who
can't
you have
sell- he
constant
can't sell
contact
it.
to.
Yeah, he can't sell it.
All right, so let me ask you guys. Let's
I mean,
let's
But you
let's
could build it
switch
out.
gears a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are all in the real estate game. Interest rates are rising, right? How's that going to affect real estate? This is the Real Estate and Chill Podcast. We got to
Yeah,
sprinkle.
we
a
got
little
to
real
touch
estate
back
in
onto real estate. So
Quick.
I'll go on that.
You first.
But without putting everyone to sleep. So basically right now, I posted a video about this on my Instagram. So basically, the government was saying 3 rate hikes in 2022. What does that mean? That means that interest rates, they're planning for interest rates to go up. Now they're saying 4 to 7. So basically, like, it's very important to look at your monthly payment, how much you're going to be paying a month towards that house, more than the purchase price of the house. I say this a lot because, you know, it depends on, like, what you're investing for. If you're buying for your prime residence, you're going to be living there for X amount of time. You want the lowest monthly payment possible. So with rates going up, take a look at it. If you're looking to sell, you know, reach out to these 2 guys right here. Like, they can talk to you about that because you really want the most amount of value possible on your home. We're kind of hitting a cross right now where inventory is so low. Yeah. Rates are not there yet. So it's like, you know, I was at an open house with Kevin yesterday. There were people online waiting to come into the open house.
Do you think it's FOMO right now? Do you think people just have that fear of missing out, of getting these lower rates?
I think it plays hand in hand because the inventory is really low, and then it's like, yo, I want to buy now before these freaking rates go up higher.
Yeah, because if I'm hearing 7, it's going to go up 7 times. Like, I have to get a house now.
I'm buying a shed.
Yeah. I told people you can sell a tree house.
But the other thing to keep in mind is even if they raise them 7 times, which I don't think they will, but who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. Disclaimer.
It definitely.
Yeah. Donna, I'm sorry. I don't know what I just said.
Sorry, Donna.
Let me know if I need to take this out.
But we don't know by what increments they're going to raise them. You know what I mean?
That's true, too.
But, all right, so if it does, real estate-wise, right, let's say they do go up high. It's no longer a seller's market. Now it's going to become a buyer's market. How many of these spoiled new real estate agents are going to know how to work in that environment? Because you've been in the game since when? What year?
I always forget. I got my license, I want to say 2014?
2014?
All right, I always get the numbers mixed up.
I got active in 2016, so those were not seller markets. You know what I mean? We know how to work in those markets where it was a buyer's market. It's not hard. It's hard to transition from a seller's market to because you put a house up right now. It's like, all right, 10 offers, right? Easy.
Yeah.
Chilling on the beach.
I remember dreading open houses, bro. Being an agent and going to an open house back in the day.
Hope
you were
somebody
sitting there
would
by
show
yourself.
up.
You would bring a tablet with you, a book, like
and finish the book, right?
Yeah.
You barely get any traffic.
Nothing. I have a funny.
You got to work a lot harder, yeah. So that's the question that I have in mind. Like how is the new agents going to do?
A lot of these people are spoiled now, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be a different ball game when it switches.
It is, and I think sellers should be aware that in 2025, tax rates are going back to what they were before 2017. So that's something that doesn't get spoken enough about. And I think.
What do you mean by that? Can you clarify?
Yeah. So like the Tax Cut and Jobs Act lowered tax rates for us. Federal tax rates dropped. Capital gains rates dropped. But they're going to sunset in 2025. And not to get into politics so much, because I don't care what political persuasion you have. Most administrations come in and they have sunset provisions in some of the laws that they get enacted. In this case, it was like, like 10 years from now or 9 years from now, this will go back to the way it was. George Bush did it. Trump did it this time. Obama had some laws. Again, I don't want to get into the minutia of it all, but just know that a lot of times administrations, they put these laws in effect for the length of time that their administration would be in office, assuming they had a 2-term presidency in this example. And then once they're out, we could go back to whatever the rates were before I got here.
Yeah.
Give us an example, like how high are we talking estimated?
Honestly, I don't want to estimate for the simple reason that one, that I know what the tax rates are now. The capital gains rates prior to Trump getting in office definitely were different, and they're not coming to me offhand. So I don't want to estimate, but just know that they are going to be higher, and rates are going to be higher for all of us, even if your federal income tax rates are going to be higher. So I just think it's something people should consider in addition to keeping track of what the interest rates are doing. I think if you're a seller and you're thinking about hey, I should probably, I'm thinking of selling, but I'm waiting for the market to go even higher, which I don't know. Can you imagine that happening?
You know, another thing is people are like, buyers are like, you know what? I'll wait till the market crashes. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. And even if it happens, right? I want to ask these buyers this. So you're waiting for the market to crash. Are you preparing for the market to crash?
What is a crash?
What is a crash, one?
Let's
are you
talk
working
about
on your
that.
credit? Probably not. Are you saving any money? Probably not. You're just waiting. Like
Yeah.
you're just waiting
Yeah.
for something to happen, so you can say I waited for the market to crash for me to even start the process.
But what like so in like when they talk about the stock market, they have like corrections and then they have like bear market, right? So correction is anything 10% or more. Like a bear market or a crash, like the crash is used too much, is like 20% or more. But even if it were 20% or more, like, and I don't know, do you guys have something like that too, like benchmarks in real estate? Like this is considered a crash in the real estate market.
I could think of the top of my head. No?
I feel like
But
the
what would
crash
it be?
was like the
10%
08
less?
crash. Like
Maybe 10.
that's what people think it is. But like
When people
I
mention
think I
crash, they
agree.
think 08 crash.
Yeah, like,
They think
but that's
everything's
not,
like a recession and.
Yeah, but
It's
that
not
was
gonna
different.
happen, like-
People were buying stuff with no down payment,
Yeah, it was
no
the Wild
anything.
West. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely different. It was
Totally
different.
I think the market just has to correct itself. It can't be a seller's market forever. But again, interest rates are so low right now. You could purchase a house that's a lot more money and pay less. If the prices do go down, rates go up, you're paying a lot more for a cheaper house.
Yeah,
In
when it
reality.
crashes and the rates are up, if they are up, yeah, they're gonna be paying more. So like,
Offhand,
what are
though-
you waiting for? Like,
Let's just say the market crashes, right? That's a perfect thing for like you or I or like anybody who's like, you know what? I'm gonna go invest and buy this cheap house. Wait for it. Wait till it goes up, and I'm gonna sell it.
Then I'll sell it.
Because real estate, they say, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait.
Wait, yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
always
Right.
gonna go up.
Yeah.
It's always gonna go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody. I like to go to Fire Island in summertime.
Flex.
Yo, if you
Flex.
know Lou,
Flex.
hit him
Flex.
up on
Flex.
Fire Island.
No. Listen,
Look up on the map of Fire Island. He's got his own little section.
no. I already see the
Security
video.
guards.
I already see the intro coming in. I'm gonna be on the beach somewhere. This guy, he always memes the heck out of me, right? I already know that's coming now. So
You see
prepare for
Lou on
that.
the beach with the white.
Yeah, with
Larry the
sunscreen,
Lobster. Yeah.
the reflector. Anyway, I was asking somebody who actually owns a house on Fire Island, and I was asking him the same thing. Like, you know, prices of like those summer houses in Fire Island, like they were, I don't know. When I say reasonable, I mean they were like half as much as what they are now. I don't even want to put numbers out there. And I was asking him, I said, do you think like this is going to correct? He goes, yeah, it has to. It's too high. And I said, like, to what? He goes, I don't know. They'll probably come down 100,000. So it's like, imagine if you could have bought one of those houses, let's say 10 years ago for 400,000 or 500,000, and now they're going for like 700,000, 800,000, 900,000 or more.
Yeah.
Even if it comes down 100,000, that's not like that big a deal
yeah.
when you're talking about interest rates, whatever they might be on a monthly basis. It doesn't make that much difference. So I don't think there is really going to be a crash in real estate.
Nah, like you said, I think
At
everyone
all.
thinks 08. That's when they say crash. That's what they're saying in their head.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I'm dealing with a seller now that we're gonna put a property up for sale. Ask her when she purchased it. Mind you, she's up there in age. She bought the property
How
for
old?
15,000.
See, these young guys think everybody's up there. How old was she?
Nah, she's like in the
50s?
70s. No,
All right. I was going to try to make me feel over
15
here.
grand, and now she's gonna walk away with like $500,000 plus in her account.
Yeah.
And the house is paid off.
Yo, that's
dope.
That's some
Like,
people's
that's
401ks. Like,
Yeah.
She has no retirement, so that's
Her retirement. Yeah.
that's crazy.
All right, so now you bring up another topic that I have to touch on. So, and especially for the realtors who are selling houses, like you sold a house to somebody a year ago, and now
They're
it
gonna
went up.
pay.
They're
Yeah.
gonna pay. So there is an exclusion for
Short term.
Yeah. So no, if you sell your house, right, and if you're married filing jointly, and you have less than a $500,000 gain in the sale of your house, it is tax free. But you had to live in that house for 2 out of 5 years, and I hear people are selling their house like a year and a half later, a year and 8 months, 10 months later.
That's
That's
'cause they
not
see the
2
numbers.
years.
Yeah, they see
So
those
people are
numbers,
going to
yeah.
get dinged with that too. And I think as a realtor, you should really like put that out there to people.
It's
That's
got to
what
be
you should
2
put to
years and a day, right?
2 years in a day.
There you
Yes, 2 years in a day.
so they have to prove that they live there for 2 years and a day, at least.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be consecutive either, but in this example, we are kind of talking about consecutive years.
Gotcha.
But it had the tax rule is 2 out of 5 years.
Okay.
So you could live there for 1 year, move somewhere else, come back, move away, and then sell your house.
Just to be
5
clear, we're
years later.
talking about people like end users, buyers who live in the home, not like investors.
Not like an
flippers,
No, not
and-
investors. I'm
Yeah.
talking about right. And
Yeah.
and I with my son, who is also a realtor, shout out Justin Soriano.
Justin.
He had a client who bought a house a little over a year ago, sold it, had $100,000+ gain, and they thought it would be tax free. We met with them. I said, no, you're going to pay tax on it. Explained to them how much the tax would be, and they decided to go through with it anyway. But the Section 121 exclusion, which is the tax code, is 2 out of 5 years. Then anything over 500, if you're married filing joint, is tax free. Anything 250 is tax free if you're single.
All right, so that's a good argument. But all right, let's say we bought the house like in 2020, right? 2019 or whatever the case may be, a year. And the market is so high, you're like, damn, my house went up 150 grand.
Right.
I don't care if I'm paying 30,000 in
No,
taxes
people-
because I'm still making.
No, people,
Yeah,
and that's what my son's client decided to ultimately do. But and there was another realtor too that I work with on this. These are the kind of things I work with realtors on. So
That's always tricky. So what did they do? So they had to purchase a new home, right? Did they want to spending that money on the new home?
But think about it. It makes sense now, Sean, because like you could buy a more expensive house for cheaper because of interest rate. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have the money now. Yeah. Like where else can you make over 100,000 in less than 45 days? Let's say if it closes in 30 days.
I can tell you a few places.
Yeah.
But real estate's the safest one.
Bro, you live in jail.
here we go.
Yo, let's talk about second generation hustlers.
Yeah.
That's a good topic.
So yeah, Jimmy and I were talking about this before we started, and I was talking about how impressed I am with all this young generation now. Right, you guys are starting businesses, you're going into self-employment, and all this stuff. You don't want the 9 to 5 where you have a job and you got to go to an office, right? My generation, we were taught that is what you did. Like you want to go to school, get good grades. You want to get good grades, get a degree, and then you get a good job, right? You work there 30 years and you retire. You guys are like, no, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want a job. I don't want any of this stuff. But the reason why my generation did it that way was because we didn't have access to generation, and depending on, what your family was like, if somebody wasn't giving you all this game, you just did what everybody else did.
Yeah.
Young James over here has a dad who's an OG who is like always telling him like, no, you could do these other, and that's what I'm doing with my son too.
That's dope.
But it is important. I think you guys have more information than we did too, right?
I agree. I mean, so my dad has been an investor for the longest, longer than I've been alive. So, in terms of real estate investing, everything like that, I learned that when I was literally less than 10 years old, on his investment properties. I would go out there with him, see what's going on,
right.
see what he does, see the day of the life of somebody in that field. And I just that's what I was born to do, basically. So, seeing that, it advanced me very quickly. Because I was just all these things that people might not even know at my age right now, I knew that stuff when I was 10 years old.
That's
you know
awesome.
what I mean? So it's that's why it's very beneficial. And sometimes people say where you come from, it doesn't matter, it's all about the hustle and stuff. No lie, I had a leg up, and I'm not gonna say I didn't, because I did, you know what I mean? And I'm very fortunate for that.
It's interesting to hear you say that, because a lot of people don't say that.
No, they always want to talk about
people cap I came from nothing.
Yeah.
I mean I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't I had a great childhood, everything like that. I don't know, I don't want to brag about it, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's if somebody went through that, they had different struggles than I had, so it's not fair of me to say that, because it's not fair to them. If I'm in the same position as somebody who's my age, 23, doing the same thing I'm doing, and we did different thing, hats off to the person who did that, because we're at the same place. They might have to overcome certain obstacles. I'm not saying I didn't overcome a bunch of obstacles in my life, but hats off to people like that. I didn't have that upbringing.
But here's the difference, and I'm listening to you carefully. You're a humble guy, right? So even if you had a leg up, as you put it, but you're not sitting on that. You're
he's still going.
It's this is what I got, and I'm looking to keep going.
Yeah.
There are other people who have a leg up, and they just sit back and say I don't have to do it because my family had it that way, and that's what we all trying to do for our own families. I know I am. I know you guys are. And you just hope your kids turn out to be like young Jimmy here, where it's thanks for giving me that leg up, and now I'm going to take it a little further.
Knowledge is power, and now that we're on camera live, I'll say this: a lot of people ask me, why did I start with Jimmy? Because he's a young guy. But it's that reason, because he's a young guy. A lot of these young guys, they're hungry. They want to succeed.
Yes.
They want to start a business. Like, and since the day I met him in 2018.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I could see that hunger, and I was like, I respect it.
Right?
Because
it's
coming
important.
from a background where nothing was handed to you, and like he said, had the leg up, but he's still working and putting the time in. It's like, how can you not respect that and want to help him and see him grow?
Yeah,
So
I appreciate
that's
it.
a fact.
No, it's important.
What are your thoughts about?
Man, I mean, I've probably had this topic a million different times on other platforms, but so you guys know my background. Like I didn't have anything handed to me. My father I didn't have a dad like how your dad taught you that. My father taught me the opposite. My father was in the streets. I went around doing things with him that I probably shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that age. So, but I figured out in my my life, I said I can't do that, because if I do that, the path that he went down. My father was in jail 60% of his life. You know what I'm saying? And he was gone before he was 34 years old. So I told myself, I do not want to live like that.
Right.
My older brother kind of followed after my father, so he went through all of those steps. But yeah, man, I respect it. It gives you a different type of hustle. You can either go in either direction. I always chose to go in the opposite direction, and I hope, like you said, I hope my kids follow the path that I'm showing them now.
That's what we're all trying to do. I'm like with my son, who's a realtor. He's young like you guys. He's doing this kind of thing. And I tell him, and I tell my daughters. More importantly, I talk with my daughters probably a little more than I do my son. Yeah. Because my son has that already. Like, it was already baked in. Honestly, he did not get that from me.
He's the oldest?
My son Justin's oldest, yeah. He's 24. He'll be 25 this year. And my daughters are 21, my twins. But Justin always had that in him. If anything, I always, as a parent, this is very hard to do, is let him go. Because, again, you have what's built in you, right? So when Justin graduated college and the day after it says, I'm getting my real estate license, I'm like, what you go to college? Wait a minute. What? I said, no, you're not. And then I said, you know what? Hold up. I had to have a by myself meeting. Yeah. And I said, he's going to put this on you 5 years from now if he doesn't go and pursue this, and I put him down this other path or suggest another path. So I'm glad I didn't do that. It wasn't easy to do as a parent, to let him do his thing, but he is doing his thing. He's thriving. He's enjoying it. And honestly, guys, for all you young people who might be watching, your whole 20s is it's almost like you have a free 10 years to figure out life. Yeah. Don't feel like if you don't get it right by 22, 23, 24 that you're not doing shit out here. You are, and it's important to know that time is on your side. Yeah. So
I think the more knowledge we put out there to our kids and the generation and anybody else listening, the more it's gonna help out. Yeah. The same thing. I never had anything handed to me, and it was but a lot of people. Two ways. They could either blame it on that and be like, I never had
a lot
anything,
of people do that too.
Blah, blah, blah. And they don't get to where they should be. Right. Or they use that to be like, you know what? I'm going to use this for motivation and be where I have to be. That's so it goes two routes. Like my son, I told him you could create money anywhere you go. He was what? When you met him, he was he's 14 now.
Yeah, Jay was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, and he was selling slime in school.
Yo, I remember that. I was like, young hustler Jaden,
I told him, all right, make a chart. Put all the names of all the people that you're selling to, what the prices are, what you could upsell them for. And he was making a lot of money. He started buying his own clothes and stuff.
But he learned from you.
Yeah, I had a flashback. I was selling mixtapes in school because my parents were I wanted nice shoes, and they could only buy me one pair. You know what I mean? And then it was
per school year.
Yeah, I had them keep them clean. I was in the freaking my sneakers.
No, that's how I grew up too. So same thing like you, growing up in Brooklyn and Brentwood. My parents, I never went without. So my father was a butcher, my mother was a secretary, and we always had the lights on and a house and food on the table and clothes on my back. So I can't say I had hard luck story. But if I wanted anything, it's oh, you're not getting that from me. You want certain type of clothes or certain sneakers, you got to work. So I've worked since I'm 13 years old. And I think that's changed a lot too with all of us as parents. Well, not James yet, but because we want to give our kids stuff, right? Of course, yeah. But it's harder for them.
To a certain extent.
To a certain
I think that's the thing that also my dad taught me too. Even though I knew we were okay, I never had to worry about money. That was never a thing. Some people have to worry about that. That does affect them. That's another obstacle that they have to overcome. But like the thing is like exactly what you said. Like I never thought like my dad is just like I'm rich. Like you're not rich. Like I'm rich. Like that's what he said.
Shaquille O'Neal
like,
told his
that's
kids
exactly
that.
what I said. He's like
Oh,
it's
you're
not
not
yours.
rich. I'm rich.
Yeah.
Everything that he's like, it's not yours to do anything with. He's
Right.
like, you do your own thing. So like when I went to school, I was like, all right, cool. Like I mean, he wanted me to go to school, so I did. And then I mean, I want to go to school too, like whatever. Like I wanted to do that, but I was just like, all right, well, I want to make money and I want to start early. So when I was 18 and I was still in school, I started in that business like right away. First summer internship was at United Mortgage. I'm still there today, and like even in school, like going to school twice a week, full-time student, graduating like school, but still working a full-time job. Like you know what I mean? Like if you don't have that mindset, nobody's doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like I don't really know too many other people who've done that. I'm sure there are many people who have, but I don't really know many people that do that. So it's like even though like people could say like, oh yeah, like. I'm not saying you guys saying that, but like other people say that stuff like, oh, like you're privileged, so like you don't work hard, like everything given to you. I'm like, bro, I work twice as hard as you.
Yeah, sometimes
like,
you
don't
have
even like think that.
People, they always try to put that on you.
But yo, don't get me wrong. Like I don't regret anything that I've been through in life because the backgrounds that we have and it teaches you things that books don't.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the savviness of where we come from.
Yep.
Makes you sharp on your feet. I can
100%.
read people's body language. I can tell when they're BSing me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I can see certain things that other people don't see. Like my wife doesn't have the background that I do. You know
Same
what I mean?
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright,
My father
same
used to
thing.
say that.
Same
There's
thing.
book smarts and street
Yeah,
smarts.
like,
You cannot
ideally,
teach
you
street
have
smarts.
both.
Yeah.
I have
You
both,
can't teach street
and I
smarts.
say certain things to her. She's like, she doesn't see it. I'm like, how do
Right.
you not see this? It's right there.
He's running game on you right now.
Like, and that's one thing my big brother taught me was like you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
be knowledgeable
Yeah.
of everything around you.
All right, so one last thing because I know we might be running out of time, right? So let's touch on careers. So we're talking about book smarts, street smarts. Not everybody has the inclination to want to like go to college and be book smart, as we're calling it. Like, what are some careers you think? And I have my opinion of careers for people who don't want to go to college but still want to like start a business or start a career,
Are they
but
doing
don't
like a
want to
trade?
get that 4-year
Are they
degree.
going to like a trade school?
It doesn't matter.
I would say, obviously, I'm biased in this, but real estate. Like,
Okay,
How-
I like that. I knew you were gonna say it, obviously.
yo,
but,
real estate, you can get in the game for like less than $1,000 or like $1,000
but
at most.
to somebody who's watching right now, and you say that, how do I do that? Like,
All right,
how do I
so-
become a realtor?
To become a real estate agent, you got to go to school for like 2 weeks, right? I think it's like $500 for the class with
Okay.
the book included.
book included,
You got to pass the school test. If you don't pass the school test, you can't take the state test.
Okay.
So you pass the school test, and you got to take the state test, which the state test is not like the school test. I don't care what they tell you.
Nowhere near it. I took it 3 times. I
I took it 3 times too. So it's not like the school test, but still, once you pass that, then you just got to find. And you and I were talking about this like off camera, like, well, on your episode as well. Like,
Yeah.
they don't give us.
Yeah,
Like a
that's how my
structure.
profession is too.
Yeah, they don't
it's like
give
you're
you a
licensed
structure.
and then you just
Yeah,
out
you're
on your
out,
own.
you're out on your
Yeah.
own. You
Yeah.
got to find the right brokerage. You got to find either a mentor or a team or learn on your own. But
Yeah.
you really have to put in the time and learn.
Yeah.
Because if you don't,
But the good thing about your profession, too, the flip side of that is, one, unlike my generation when I was growing up, I became a financial advisor, just like you guys. I was licensed, certified, and everything. It was like, okay, now what? Like, nobody...
So does it work
teaches
like real
you.
estate? Do you get a license
Exactly.
and you have to hang it with like a brokerage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Okay.
However, if you want to be a tax preparer... did my voice just crack there? It did.
You
Preparer?
got like a little
Yeah. I got emotional. I was thinking back to my younger days. If you want to be a tax preparer, put some bass on it.
say it with your chest.
Yeah, you don't have to be licensed with anybody. Like I know people who do tax preparation on the side, or they work with an accountant. So like a lot of people start tax preparation as a side hustle. It's an excellent side hustle that can lead to a career. And in fact, that's how I started. I started doing tax preparation on the side. I actually went to H&R Block school. They offer a school like similar to like real estate. Yeah, you go to H&R Block. You could go to their school for the month of like November and December, and if you do really well in the class, they like cherry pick like the people who do good in the class there, and they say, "Hey, you want to work with us this tax season?"
Oh, okay.
And then that's how I got my feet wet in financial services, and then I, kept going and going. But I think tax preparation is another way to do that. Becoming an insurance license is also another What about mortgages? Like, how do you get involved in mortgages?
So
College degree or no?
no, you don't need a college degree for it. Basically, if you want to become an LO, all you have to do is you have to study for the test, take the test. You have to do like a 20-hour course. 20-hour course, you can do that in like a week. Study for the test. I've heard some people get it done in like they study for it for like 4 days. I studied for it for like I studied for like a month, like an hour a day, and then like the last 3 days I studied like the night of whatever. I passed first time, but I've also like seen people who haven't passed in like 3 to 5 tries. Like I've seen that. So it's like, it depends. Like everyone but you could keep taking and stuff.
What does it cost? Like, what's the entry cost?
I think it's like that was like 5 years ago almost. No, actually no, I did that like 3 years ago. I think it was like 20-hour course is like maybe $100.
What?
That's it?
That's
yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, it's cheaper than a real estate license.
No wonder there's so
Yeah,
many
like
faulty
100 bucks.
pre-approvals out there.
And then I think
James,
the
though.
licensing,
Rubber
I think the
stamp 'em.
licensing is like maybe 400, and then the test is like 200, something like it's probably like
So it's around
700
the
bucks.
same thing.
Very
Same
similar to
$1,000
you guys, yeah, like
Yeah.
very similar. But the main thing is like learning all that stuff. Like you have to really.
It's
be,
a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. you
And
have
to
to
keep it a
know.
buck, I mean, a lot of people don't really have to do that. Like we get it, right? But there's also other trades that you could do. You could be a licensed electrician. You could be
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
there's so
man.
many
Yeah.
trades that are in demand right now that you
Yeah.
can make a lot of money doing it. HVAC.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of things you can
And you
do
go to trade
together.
school for like what, like 2 years, like 3
I
years?
don't even know if it's that long.
Is it? I don't
Even
know.
stuff like this, photography,
And they make like 6
videography,
figures too.
social media.
Some of them make six
manager.
well into 6 figures.
Yeah.
So, but loan officer, because I used to do mortgages too at one point.
No way.
I've done everything in my life. Yes,
What didn't he do? He's a photographer at one point too.
but I'll tell you what stopped it was you had to be state licensed and you had to get a national
license, right.
So that's still the case.
Yeah,
There's
federal
really
federal
two
license.
exams, right? I didn't want that to slip
No,
through.
no. There's one exam. There's a federal exam.
Okay.
So once you take the federal exam, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think once you take the federal exam, you can get your license in whatever states that the bank that you work with or brokerage that you work with has licensing for. So
Okay.
like for my bank, like we can go up to like I think like 40 something states. So any of those states, you could just do like the state requirements
Okay.
and then get your license. In
Do
that
your
state.
Googles.
Yes.
Google.
And listen, there's so much information out there. That's the other thing. It's
Real estate, again, just touch base on real estate. You can make so much money. It's like $1,000 to get in. You could get a brokerage, right? Find a brokerage, get your license. You could be a buyer's agent, a listing agent. You could join a team where they provide you leads and you make money. Yes, you pay a little bit more, but still,
Right.
you're eating right off the
Still, yeah,
bat.
yeah.
Or you could be a wholesaler. You can find properties off market, sell it to investors, and make a good amount of money.
That's awesome.
Or you can use other people's money and buy your own investments.
Buy your
There's so much opportunity with real estate.
Yeah.
Yo,
So-
I think what you just said though, real quick, about like getting into the real estate space, I have seen now, like now that I've like expanded my network and like seeing it, I personally think, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think joining a team when you first start
I was
is
just
the
gonna ask
best,
Game
that.
changer.
best
Yeah,
move that
it
you
wasn't
can
like that
make.
when we first started.
you didn't
Yeah.
you didn't either, right?
There wasn't-
And
there
you're
was no
still
team
not
thing.
on a
There
team
was-
or have a
it wasn't
team,
team
right?
thing.
Yo,
I don't
yo,
know.
Sean's gonna start his own team this year.
That's
Oh,
it.
man, pressure,
Yeah,
pressure.
nah, you got to.
Yo, you're
I'm
not
getting my
I gotta do
license
it.
then. That's it. I'm going back to school. I'm just saying, I'm on Team Waller. It's my side hustle right now.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna level up this year. We're leveling up this year.
No, that's awesome. You should. You should. And I think guys like you should start teams because, one, you're good at it. Two, you can be that mentor to some of the people we're talking about. And you could save the time that like they had. And it's good for you too, right?
Dude,
It's
it wasn't that,
reciprocal.
when I started, yeah, none of that. When I went to my
Right.
first brokerage, they literally sat me down in front of a monitor. It was like, watch these videos.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got. I won't even say the brokerage I started with, but that's all
Yep.
you got. The broker itself was actually doing sales, so he was out of the office all
Oh
the
man,
time.
that sucks. Because then if any leads come in,
They
most likely they're
Yo,
gonna
he
take them.
took one of my leads.
See, that's why I didn't.
Oh,
Yo.
man.
He
That's
took one of my
terrible.
calls.
Back to that. That's why I didn't join a team. Because back then teams weren't like they weren't around like they are now.
Nah,
Right.
nah.
But when I was trying to like partner with somebody, I was getting robbed. Like they were taking my leads. I was like, yo, I got this lead. We should go to the appointment. Next thing I know, it's on MLS with that freaking agent.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what the heck?
That happened to my
What?
broker, yeah.
And this is what I had to
It's the
realize.
worst thing I've ever heard.
That's
Yo,
terrible.
my broker did
But
that
this is
to me.
the
No, right?
That's horrible.
So having our background, we're in a different space. You have to act professionally. So I was
Yeah.
like, yo,
Right.
I'm in the business now. I can't call him
Yeah.
like, yo, meet me over here.
Street smart Kevin wanted to talk to him. It's like,
We gonna have a conversation.
yeah.
So it's like, so this is how the game is. This is how it goes.
Yeah.
I had to, but you know what? It was a blessing because I learned quick, and I was like, this is what I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And this is what I should do. So
I think the business is a little different now. I don't think it's as cut. Well, I'm pretty sure you still have those type of people, but I feel like it's not as cutthroat as it used to be when I first started.
I feel like it varies from every zip code you go. I feel like some zip codes are like so cutthroat, and then some zip codes are just like they're cool. Like, bro, I see it. Like, I see like buyers like going to making offers on listings and then just wiping their buyer's agent away, going back, putting in another offer. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, what are you doing? So it's
the
like
market though, man. I think people are just
but like it's crazy. Like they're cutting people out. Like
it's bad.
It's crazy.
well, fellas, that basically wraps it up.
Yeah, that was good.
So
good
where
episode.
can they contact you, man? Because you starting this team, you're looking for recruits.
Yeah, if I wanted to get in touch with Sean Waller to be down on the Waller team, how do we get a hold of you?
You can hit me on
Big
all
Dub
platforms at Showing Your Realtor, spelled straight out Showing Your Realtor. Telephone number 718-840-8094. Hit me up, holler at me.
Nice.
It's a little awkward, but
Yeah, that was
what can they reach
We
you?
know what he's doing.
Notice
He's gonna put
Jimmy
he's gonna put his handle
he's
under
just
there. Now we got
interest rates.
He's getting TikTok.
yeah, he's doing his. He's
getting flashbacks. Yo, that was so funny. But all right, well, you heard it here.
Where can they contact you?
Oh, that's what we're doing now? All right. You guys can contact me at Finance by James. Reach out to me, DM me, say what's up, here for all your needs.
Thank you, Lou Soriano1 on Instagram. You can reach me directly 631-236-5842.
You see the valleys on his feet too.
Come on, man. He's got it. The
You
Fire
see it?
Island
You
House,
see it?
Fire
No,
Island
man.
Mansion.
You know what it was? I'm gonna tell you what happened. So last week I came here, I was sitting there. I thought we were gonna be doing like the podcast setup.
Yeah.
I had like my I didn't
New
even know what the
Balances
hell I
on.
had it on. Then we're talking about Gucci's on. I said, you know what? I'll wear my nice sneakers next time. I think they'll be shown because last week I was in like my jogging shoes.
There you go. Follow us, the Real Estate Show Podcast on Instagram. Kevin sold my home on Instagram. Make sure you hit the like button,
Follow
Comment.
this guy.
Comment on
subscribe,
And
hit the
subscribe.
notification bell. Tell your mom, tell everybody.
And we will
We're here.
see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good, you might want to tell your ex.